Right now, how about the news of JT Daniels giving West Virginia a nice little spark?
Super news. 109 days since Christmas, and West Virginia got a late present. This is exactly what people had been hoping for, and certainly good. You know, West Virginia right now is in the midst of spring ball, almost done, a week to go, and has three freshmen, or have three quarterbacks, none of which have starting experience, a really young group back there. And so to get someone with Daniel's credentials and the ability that he has shown is a huge boost.
How big was was this pretty much Graham Harrell sealing this deal for them?
I think so. I don't necessarily know if he's here, if Graham Harrell's not here. JT's dad has said specifically that the fact that Graham was here and that relationship when the two crossed paths at USC back in 2019 had a lot to do with it. The offensive continuity he will understand and will be able to at least get in there day number one and have a familiarity with this offense. So I think, to answer your question, it probably was a huge piece to it.
Tony, there's no secret that the West Virginia offense has been a bit lethargic now for a while, and so when they hired Harrell, it kind of seemed out of nowhere, really, but it seemed like a bit of a splash, especially those in the Big 12 region. What has the relationship been like so far? What has been noticeable, if anything, just in terms of the offense's confidence, the style, and how they're doing it?
Still really super early, guys, as you know. So he got here, probably December-ish. And so they've just been on the field here for 3 weeks. I think what he inherited, we've been building an offensive line really since Neil's been here. When Neil got here, it was as depleted as I've ever seen it. And so that has been a 3-year build, and now finally we've got all of the pieces back on the offensive line, and they've got the chance to be solid. The same deal with the receivers. When Neil first got here, we were forced to use guys that just weren't ready yet. Now those guys, for the most part, are back and intact. So the answer to your question is, I think Graham inherits pieces, and the big question was, who's going to throw it to them? And so today's news at least puts a different spin on that, at least you got a guy that's going to go in there and compete for this job now that's played a good amount of football. And really, guys, it's so badly needed because West Virginia plays an extremely difficult schedule. I think we may be one of only two Big 12 teams that plays two Power Fives. We open the season at Pitt. They pretty much return intact with the exception of the quarterback spot, but they've got a USC transfer. Their whole O-line's back. They got a Bolitnikoff winner at receiver, and we also go on the road to Virginia Tech. So the month of September is going to be a super challenge, and so to get someone, if in fact JT becomes the starting quarterback, you really needed that to go out on the road and to play high level of competition right off the start.
How big of a boost was this for Neil Brown personally, given that the transfer portal has not been his best friend the last couple of seasons, and they've lost a lot of volume, and not to mention talent, into the transfer portal the last couple of seasons, and he kind of needed a win here.
I agree. I think the ultimate answer is going to be at the end of the season. We'll tell you how big this one was, but no, you're right. I mean, for various reasons, and I'll be honest with you guys, I'd probably say 75 to 80% of those kids that have been in the portal certainly haven't transferred up. They've gone down. So if it's anything, it's been some misses. And guys realize, and you guys see it too, you guys realize they're not going to be able to play at that level. So I think perception and reality are a little bit different, but there's been some key losses. We had